Welcome there guys to the second part of immigration and integration. I could not put all into one video, so there are also some interesting. There are two data released or researcher studies released those days too, like the other one from the first video. One is about the attitude of the Germans toward immigration, and they did a research for the last 10 years, and they said 10 to 15 years, something like that, and they did a big research and asked a lot of people, and in those times the attitude towards immigration gets more positive and positive. So Germans open up and see the positive aspects of immigration. The second research is about how immigrants do in Germany, and they're doing better. Like in former times, those immigrants we had a lot of big families relying on the social welfare system, don't get jobs, don't get a degree, stuff like that. But nowadays they live like the Germans, they get jobs, degrees, have smaller families, and yeah, so people coming together in some way. And what's the conclusion of this? That those immigrants we had in the former times, from the 60s till the 90s, were mostly low educated, low skilled workers. If they had some work, a lot of them, I have to say, of those immigrants that came in those period of time, were there to get social money from the social welfare system, to get welfare benefits. And I don't know what you think about this, but from my opinion, this don't create a positive attitude towards immigrants. When most immigrants, coming here to Germany to get money from the government and not here for education, works, a better life, something like that, then this is also a reason why Germans in some way skeptical towards immigration. But this is also the change in mind, as I mentioned, from the one research, because those immigrants we get these days, or the last 10 years, are well qualified. They go to the education system, they come here for exchange, for the university, and also for high skilled jobs. And what would you choose if someone comes here and say, hey, I have a degree, I have a high skilled jobs, I pay taxes? Then mostly people would say, hey, no problem with me. But if someone comes and say, I have no money, no jobs, not interested into education, I'm just here, I want a few German taxpayers the money to have a nice and easy life. And maybe the attitude towards those people is not that positive. But as I mentioned, it's getting better and better because we become better immigrants, and the Germans open up. What I also have to say, as I mentioned in part one, is the never had colonies, never seen as a classical immigration country. You also have to understand that Germany was defeated in the Second World War, and then the Allied forces, and they came and they pushed their political and their system of belief into the Germans, and those took a long time. And yeah, when somebody and nobody ever asked us, nobody ever asked me if I like immigration. No, I don't know one of my friends or the people I know never anyone came to us and said, do you like the immigration? You're interested in immigration? No, never ever care. Politicians and the economy say we want them because we want a cheap workforce, and the politicians have their own reasons. But nobody ever asked the German society if they want immigration. And don't worry, as I mentioned, open up, and there's nowadays a positive attitude. But you have to understand, you make the choice that you say, I'm leaving my country for whatever reason. I make the decision and I want to move to Germany. But as a German, I don't have this choice. I cannot say, yes, I want you, or I don't want you, because you're coming and you're here. And then if I say, my world, how how it used to be is changing, and then I'm the racist on the ignorant people, the person. So this is also a point or some mindset you have to understand or to be aware. That nobody ever asked the ordinary German people if they want those immigration. So, and another point is that nobody asked us. So yeah, nobody ever asked us, and then your people are coming, and then you're demanding something. It seems sometimes like this. You're demanding the Germans has to open up, they have to do this and that, they have to be more friendly, they have to be nice, they have to see themselves as an integration country. So I'm sitting there and a lot of people doing their ordinary life. It goes on, and then it comes, you Germans, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to accept the immigrants, nobody asks you if you want them, and so on. And this is when somebody comes to your country and forces you into that way, that creates some resistance. And the next thing is about the not seen as a German because of your skin or something like that. Imagine the other side. Don't know what countries you come from. I get subscribers from India and all over the world. But imagine if I come to India as a white people, blue eyes, I come to India, would the Indian people me ever expect as a Indian? Good question. And if I go to Japan or to China or to Namibia, Tunisia, whatever country with darker skinned people as the majority of citizens, would they ever see me as a typical citizen if I lived there for 10-15 years? That's the question on the other side. Because when people come to non-white people coming to Germany and want to be seen as typical Germans, and I mentioned the reason in part 1 why Germany sometimes struggles with this, but I try to create an understanding of this point. Imagine the other side, and when a lot of people moving to your country, and the next thing is also the economical system. The most reasons why people immigrate to another country is mostly for economical reasons. Is it the fault of the Germans that our economical system works really fine and yours maybe not so fine? So, but this is just some ideas. Maybe you see negative and critical hater comments, stuff like that. But I have, as I mentioned in part 1, a positive attitude towards the immigration in general, and this should just another impression how it is, why people in Germany sometimes skeptical to the immigration. The conclusion is Germany had never colonies, never seen as a typical immigration country. German people were never asked if they want immigration. And the fourth point is, would you seen a white guy, blue eyes like me in your country ever as a typical citizen of yours? That's just the question. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. You're welcome. And if you're coming to Germany, or I hope you have a good time, if you're for a short time or forever, whatever. So till the next time, cheers.